guys, if I open yesterday's page, which is slider sample, and while that page opens, let me open the Visual Studio as well, and let's check it in, publish it. And let's go to the contents of it. And let me open SP slider. Okay, so far we haven't touched anything with respect to development in this project. I mean, when I say in this project, for the slider, I showed you Hello World, which involves a bit of SharePoint programming, where we opened a site and where we, sorry, not in the SP world, in the console app, where I showed you how you can add an item to a list or get an item from a list. So the same logic will come here. So before coming here, we call in traditional development, what we call is data model. Here we call that, it's the same name, but I mean it's the same semantics wise, it's same, but here we call it as information architecture, which defines your list, content types and columns. So information architecture is the place where you hold your information. So remember that IA. If you are in a SharePoint, then people might call let's start with IA. It's I and A, information architecture. Okay, and for our development as well, and for this slider to convert, or carousel to convert into a web part, we want to store this data in SharePoint side. And if we just open a notepad, let's define what are the columns we're going to store it there. And let me zoom the font. Sorry guys for the late, by the way, I just went to a movie. Into the ice says collision, but not so nice as before. Okay. Into the ఇండిపెండెన్స్ డే చూడలేదురా రమేష్. అదేంటి ఇండిపెండెన్స్ డే, ఓల్డ్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ డే లేకపోతే డిఫరెంటా, సిమిలరా, పార్ట్ 2? చూడలేదు, ఎందుకంటే మెయిన్ ఈ సునాల కోసం వెళ్తాం కదా, మెయిన్ ఈ యానిమేషన్సే, ఇంకా అదే వెళ్దా ఉంటాడు. ఫైండింగ్ డోరీనా దిదా అనుకున్నాం, ఇది బాగుంటుందేమోనని మేము ఇది పుష్ చేసాం వాడికి, కానీ అవునా ఇది బాగాలేదు, అయితే ఇది వేస్ట్. ఇది మేబీ ఇంట్లో చూసుకోవడం బెస్ట్. అంటే బాగాలేదంటే సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్, ఒక ప్రాబ్లం ఒక సొల్యూషన్ లాస్ట్కి, అంటే వెరైటీ ఏం లేదు. Okay, now before, it's not only for this information architecture, even for your classic database development, the way how you test your table is you need to fill in some data. That's how you test your table if it meets all your functionality. So let me open Excel also. Okay, I don't have this. Okay, I'll keep it simple in the notepad for now. I don't have Excel on this machine. Okay, we know we want to store first thing image, that's very clear, and that the column will be column type we'll keep it image, and second one we want to store that single line of text or call it as a caption. And column type, I'm not writing column type completely, will be a text. 3. Don't worry about these column types, we will choose based on what SharePoint column types are, and we can define our own column type if we need. That we'll look into it later. And do you guys have anything else in mind? What data we need to capture for this web part? One is image, caption. Anything else we need to capture? Rotation, I mean, okay, that one. Okay, let me see if we can control that or not. Let's keep it for now in here, rotation, and maybe assume that as a number. And anything else? Okay, sorry, what else? Image, is it? Okay, that's I put in a caption here. Yeah, that I made it here as a caption. ID we will already have it, but maybe we can have something like a display order, so that what order we want to show it up. And 5th, to tell if it is active or inactive. False or true, so it will be boolean. To keep it simple, these are the columns we have. Okay, and even to check it, what will be to test this information architecture, we need to feed the data at least for one row. Then that's how we will know that our information architecture, or whatever we call it as our table, will suit our requirement. This will be the same even if you are creating a table, exactly whatever we are talking about. Okay, if we come here, as you guys know that carousel will have a list of items. Each slide will be an item here, and I will pick one item and see what it has. This is one item, it has image, and this is a caption. Okay, this is, we won't worry about this styling part, all those things. We'll worry only giving the source for now. And next thing is caption. Okay, and let's see what else it has. And something else, it has a different layers as well. Maybe we'll take the simple one. Yeah, for now maybe I think that's what it is. If you ignore these layers, which is a JavaScript, which are rotating or sliding background or like that, if you ignore that part, yeah, animation kind of thing, yeah, this is it for now. Okay, let's come to creating a list, which we say it functionally as information architecture. And let's create a custom list and say home page, hero banner. I'm using all the terminologies because so that you are aware of how people call it. Few people call it hero banner, few call it as a slider, few call it as a carousel, but end of the day they are intending to this one. When you create a custom list, it inherits from a content type called item, and that item will have only one property, which is list. How am I telling that? If you go to list properties, and you're not able to see any content types here. If we go into advanced settings of a list and then enable content types, means allow management of content types, then you can see what are the content types that exist, and then even the content types are shown. Before they were not shown here. Even if you create a new custom list, this is the behavior it will have, and this is item. If you see this item, it has only one title. You can create your own content type. Don't worry about content type for now. Just assume that it's a other class where this list is using. Okay, for now, because I already made a video on content types, I will give you that video where you can watch later, and I will explain that as well. But don't worry about content types as of now. Just assume that we are inheriting a content type here, though literally not inheriting, but it's just actually using it. Just assume that we are using a content type here, which is item, and that has only one property, which is title. Let's keep the title as is, but we need few more columns. It's all, you can't delete a title, just remember, but you can use title for something else, or you can hide a title. For now, maybe we can use the title for this caption, and we will see what is the title type. Let's come to this image, and these are the default out of the box data types available, but if these are not good enough for you, you can create another one, custom column. For our specifications, these are totally good enough. Okay, image, and if we see, we have a single line of text, multiple lines of text. These are different column types: choice, number, currency. For our case, not this and not this, no, number, no, currency, no, date and type, no. This column is lookup information, where you can refer into another list and refer here, something like a foreign key relationship. Even in hyperlink, where is it? Exactly, you're right, this is what we need, hyperlink or picture. Okay, and let's choose that, hyperlink or picture. And here we have format URL as a hyperlink or picture. Let's keep it picture and click OK. And we have two columns. By default we will get this created, modified, created by, and modified by. These four will come for every list. It could be a document library or a custom list, you'll get them. If it is a custom list, you'll have a title column. And if it is an image, sorry, this image is a custom. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, that's good, because all of a sudden I can't hear myself properly. Okay, what I'm saying is created, modified, created by, modified are default columns which will exist, and the title column will come up if we are using content type of a list item. This is, I mean, item. If we are using something, a different content type, we will get whatever columns available in that content type here. And we manually created this image column just now, and now other columns are rotation. Let's come and see rotation, how we can use it. Okay, here we are having rotation, animation. Here we are having animation, and here we don't. And here we sort of having something. Let me see how we can use that. So this is where I'm telling we need the skills to use the data, and we should be having some understanding how we can control the JavaScript as well, because it is rotating all the time and it is very difficult for me to even look into one item. Let me see if I have an option to stop anything, stop that rotation. Okay, slider, and this is responsive code design, and this orientation, and there should be an option, something like a start or stop, or a way to stop this rotation. I'm looking for that. Load slider, scale slider. Let me just ఇది ఎక్కడ yeah but orientation change, maybe I'm guessing this is for orientation, maybe landscape or something, but maybe you're right, but I don't. Yeah, maybe you're right, I don't know. Let's see this one. I'm going to this file. Let us see what are the files which are loaded as part of this page. Pages from style library, WebPart, and these two JavaScript files are loaded, and let's click here. See guys, this is important. This is a min.js, that's why it's one line. Okay, and if you want to see the code, you need to go this way, which doesn't really work for us. So what is the other option we can do? Any guess or any idea? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You can do that, but even to do that, and you need to manually enter, keep doing like this, and okay. But anyway, yes, exactly, yeah, we will have a normal file. That's a right guess as well. But the other solution is print this minified file. Okay, it is already telling us more. Let's see what it says. You can click this button on the bottom of the status bar, and continue debugging with a new formatted source. What it is saying is pretty print means like the normal file, it will make it in a readable mode, and I did a enter, that's why it is star here saying that something did, but let's not worry about that star here. As it says, let me click this part. So now you have a readable file. Now at least you can read it better than before. Okay, this is how you can do it. I mean, it is nothing to do with SharePoint, it's all with the Chrome. Okay. And looking for stop propagation. Is there any stop, cancel bubble, or cancel? Next, what I'm trying to look is stop the rotation. There must be a way, but anyway I don't want to spend, but what I'm trying to look here is a way to stop this rotation and where we can focus on one slide, but it is moving and it is giving us difficulty in finding. I'm just bringing this down, and let me choose this, and let me choose this absolute number, loading position, filters, opacity. See, regarding this animation, it is having something to do opacity and etc. Something opacity 70, opacity something. After that, it is having some background image which is loading.gif or something. No repeat. Okay, let's not go too deep into that rotation for the moment. I'm not saying we can't do it, we can do it, but we should understand how that works here. Maybe that could be a number or one number, or it could be like couple of numbers we should input there. Based on that we can do. So what I'm trying to explain is, let's not worry about this animation or the movements happening based on the layers, etc. Let's go here. This is customizable layer. So this is the layer, and everything is allowed. You can put an image here, bootstrap, slides. This must be one slide, two slide, and how is one slide looks like. This is image, and the next one is the caption, and in the caption we have mobile ready touch swipe. Do you think it's just part of the image it is coming? Let's open that. I'm just opening the images, how that animation is coming. Is it part of JavaScript or if it is part of image itself? Here definitely not. Here definitely not. Okay, this is definitely, I think, from the JavaScript, but at this instant I couldn't figure it out. Maybe loading alpha opacity, loading could be this one, and this is loading, and these are the slides, and this is next or previous arrows. Okay, but I'm not focusing much on that animation at the moment. Let's not worry about that, we'll come there. That's combination of CSS and the JavaScript. Certainly it's nothing to do with image or a text, maybe this thing which is saying opacity and overflow and the cursor, based on that it is moving. Okay, let's not worry for now. So at the moment just exclude this part. Having said that, it certainly can be done as long as we know how and where to inject the data. Let's go. CSలో లేకపోతే జావాస్క్రిప్ట్లో తెలియదు, అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఆఫ్టర్ నోయింగ్ దాట్ how we can input from there. See, let's assume this is the class responsible for that animation. Okay, and if this is the class, then we need to bring it to the data or not required. But how are we going to do this? Let's, for assuming that this class is responsible, I don't know, if may not be, but let's see how this is used. Now I think maybe orientation, maybe I'm guessing this is orientation scale slider. I'm guessing maybe this is one, resize, load. Okay, just out of curiosity, let's do one thing. After that, if it doesn't work, let's ignore it for now. We will change the JavaScript. Okay, let's go to first style library, WebPart, and check out this one. And I was showing yesterday how to open this in Windows Explorer and edit that file, if you guys remember. And I said open in IE only because this doesn't work very well with the Chrome. So this is disabled here. Let me download this. I'm just showing you even this option. Just download a copy of this and come here, and what I want to do is just comment that orientation part and see what's happening. And even this I want to correct as we are here. Just comment this bit, resize, just leaving it, only commenting this part as a JavaScript comment, and upload the document. What is the name? WebPart content. If the name is exactly same, then it will think as a next version. Okay, and you can publish the major version, and let us come here, and in Chrome it is Ctrl+Shift+R to refresh everything completely. Orientation, it didn't really change. Then I don't know what is orientation for. Okay, let's not be fussy about that animation things. For now, let's ignore this part. Let's go to the display order and is active. As of now, here the display order is just manual. We got one by one, just one by one. And we don't have a is active or something like an HTML. If we want to disable, when hide something, we just close it. Okay, so come to the contents and come to home page banner. We have two columns as of now, and let's go to list settings, create column, and the next one is display order. As a developer, it's always better not to keep spaces or anything in your page names, but once you create I will show you, once you create, You can later change the display title, because there is a difference in SharePoint. There is a display column and internal column. Internal column comes up when you create first time. If you want to change the internal column, you just have to delete the column and recreate. But display title you can change anytime. For now I'm creating as a display order and keeping the number, or I'm keeping it as a choice field. So the display order will be a choice field with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's assume that we won't have active items at any given point of time more than 11, just an assumption, and created a display order without any spaces. But after, if you click this and you have the field name as a display order, now I want to, for an end user, I want to keep this as a clean, more appropriate, with a space, display order. Now it is showing as a display space order. If you go and click that, but this is called internal name, which didn't change and which won't change. If you want to change this, delete it, but it doesn't matter. Keep this one without spaces. That's for only for your programmatic purpose. And whatever title shows up, I mean, let the user decide, or you can keep it as more meaningful. And is active. Okay, now create another column. Is active. And what is the is active column? We thought it's going to be a boolean. And do we have any boolean here? Right. Yeah, I mean, this is equivalent to boolean, like yes or no. Okay, but the checkbox, I will show you what it says. Is active, default is yes or no. Okay, if we click this one now, testing of our data, how it should look like. We create a new title and let's come here and feed with the data. That's how you test your data type. I'm just collapsing all items, slides, collapse this. I don't want to change anything other than caption. I want to take the caption from here, copy it, and paste here. This is what I'm saying, caption, but let me, as I said, you can change the name. Go here, title is the column which I didn't create, which comes by default, but you can change the display name. But remember, this field equal to title, this is the internal name, that will never change. Now the caption. Now let's go to here and create new, and we need an image. It comes as totally image kind of thing. Let me see if there is another column. I mean, you can queue a complete path of image, that's totally fine. I was wondering if there is another data type. List. And there are a few columns you can't change your data types once they are created from one to another. So in such scenarios you have to delete again column and recreate. Let's see if I can change. No, I can't. Okay, let me create another column just to test. I remember having a different column type. There is another column, but let's not worry about that because we have some other out of the box columns, which I mean is add from the existing columns. You'll have a better data type for image. Let's not worry about them for now, keep it simple. And we want to give the image path here. And we know that we stored our images here, the style library and WebPart images. Don't worry, this may not be this complicated every time. There is a different data type where the user can really browse and get the proper image. To keep our development very simple, I'm creating this. Okay, where is our first one? Edit. Keep it.
But you said I could drink.
And if you go here, okay, I got the first image. Just want to check that I got the first image, and the display order is 1 and is active is 1, sorry, S. We created one, and like that let's create another item, new item. Do we need to, this absolute path is called full path, do we need absolute path or relative path? Relative path is a half with relative to your root side. Even relative path is also good. To keep things very simple, I'm doing like this, giving a full path, absolute path, and get the caption. This is second item. Go here and display order, this should come second and they should save it. Okay, and new item. And this is third I'm interested in. Oh, sorry. Caption, and let me go to the and display order is 3. I mean, to make it simple for us, I will just do 4 items rather than all items. And this is the fourth, which I'll stop here. And image of the fourth, and this one is 4. Okay guys, we have 4 items here, and I want my web part to be exactly the same as our existing web part, which is a slide sample, but which reads the images and the captions from the list instead of static one. Okay, that's what I want to do, and which brings the necessity of programming with the SharePoint data objects and SharePoint server side objects. Okay, like I said before, to interact with the SharePoint you can use server side object model or CSOM, which is client side object model, and a REST API. And to keep it Yeah, tell me, Ramesh. Yeah. See, this is dynamic. If you have it in a list, it's a dynamic, you can change whenever you want. If you have to change, let's say this is a static list. Static means HTML has all the data. If you want to change something, then the user should have a knowledge on how to change on the HTML, and if they mess up, then everything is going to get disturbed. Whereas if you give access onto this list and tell them to change the images or text, maybe they can give more text or less text or no text. You'll have a defined control over your web part, and user will have a defined control on the list of items, I mean the slides, and they can change the display order. Now it is display 1 first item, but I want to change this to maybe 4 tomorrow. Now everything is active. Maybe tomorrow I might want to change like 2 inactive, or maybe I want to add like a 20 more items here, so that they don't have to change the HTML at all. That's the reason we are here, but we are not done yet. We did only half, like creating the table, and the other half is we need to read from the table and display the web part. Okay, right now we didn't consume the list yet. Okay, and yeah, there now we are here, and if you remember how our web part code is, this is our web part, how it looks like. Okay, there are a couple of ways, but I will show it you as a simple approach for this instance, but later I will show you how you can keep these .js files in one place rather than keeping in a web part, that we can keep it in a page layout or master pages based on how often we use it. For now, let's assume that we are using only for this web part. So I'll keep it as simple as this: string get slides, get carousel. Okay, and string return carousel. So empty, and this method is responsible for us to create a carousel, and we just add that method as a literal control and add to tail controls. That's what we are trying to do. We will use exactly this piece, and our interest up to here, we have no interest in changing this at all. Instead of this, let's open the latest file which we just changed, which we downloaded and changed. As this is txt, it is showing me like that. Maybe for my convenience sake, let me change it to HTML extension so that Visual Studio will read better than this. Downloads, web part. Up to this, these are all constants. There is no change at all. To keep it simple and easy for development, and this doesn't have to be public, private string get JS. in fact JS JS equal to I hope you guys are aware of why I'm using ampersand here. If not, tell me, I'll explain that. Okay, all the JS I'm keeping in one place. See, there is no rule that we need to keep it in. It's just to, for the maintenance sake, to keep things easy, I'm doing like that. Okay, now you have a situation here. Here it is using double quotes and etc. There are multiple ways of handling this kind of situation. Maybe you can escape this, maybe like this, all wherever. Or other way is, let's take this code, let's take all code. Anyway, this is our code, nobody is using it. Let me change that to let me see if there is any problem if I just replace with single quotes everywhere. Is it going to fail? Assuming it doesn't, because there are situations if JavaScript is using double quotes and single quotes as well in some scenarios, then replacing all with single quotes will certainly break a lot. Let's assume nothing is broken. Okay, as of now it seems there isn't a lot of headache as I see, but assume that and copy the I mean that didn't really change, I think. I mean noticeably, but yeah, let's not worry too much for now. Oh no. Oh, okay, then we can keep that as some column and we can control it there. Okay guys, maybe if you understood, I'm just bringing to the code, and what I did is I just created a new function which is getJS, and it's just doing, it's getting all the JS, that's all. Okay, that's it. Other than that, no fancy. This is one file, sorry, one function, and another function is for styles. Get styles or get CSS, whatever you like. And to refactor, rename control RR, or I think you guys might be already using it. And CSS, call it that way. And let's come here, copy this piece and come back to here, CSS, paste it. Sorry. And I mean this is just formatting purpose, there is nothing really advantage in terms of programming. What I'm using the tabs or keeping necessary spaces in between. Okay, now this is get CSS. Now another string is, okay, let me copy paste this one. Get slides. Oh. Okay, let me slides, and this is a function. These functions, as of now, I'm making them as functions, but if you don't like them as functions, you can have them as properties. It's totally fine. But you have to decide whatever you like based on the need. And then this whole bit, this whole chunk is HTML. For now, I'm keeping whole bit there. Slides. Whole stuff goes here. Yeah. Chep Ramesh. రిఫర్ అంటే నేను ఎట్లా ఆ ఫైల్నా టఫ్ ఏం కాదు, ఇట్ ఈస్ పాసిబుల్. బట్ నువ్వు రిఫరెన్స్ అదే నేను లాస్ట్ టైం చెప్పాను కదా ఏంటంటే దేర్ ఆర్ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ వేస్. ఏంటంటే ఈ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ ఫైల్ని, సిఎస్ఎస్ ఫైల్ని యూ కెన్ కీప్ ఇట్ ఇన్ పేజ్ లేఅవుట్, ఓకే. బట్ హ్యావింగ్ దిస్ ఇన్ వన్ ఫైల్ అండ్ రిఫరింగ్ ఇట్ విల్, అంటే దీనికోసం ఒక ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలంటే ఓన్లీ జేఎస్ వరకు, ఓకే, అండ్ సిఎస్ఎస్ వరకు ఒక ఫైల్ యాడ్ చేసుకొని, అండ్ ఈ సిఎస్ఎస్ ఫైల్ని నువ్వు ఇక్కడ రిఫర్ చేయాలంటే చేసుకోవచ్చు. యూ నీడ్ టు యూజ్ ఎ కోడ్ అగైన్ టు బ్రింగ్ ఇట్ ఎస్పీ ఫైల్ అండ్ రీడ్ చేసుకొని యూ కెన్ షో ఇట్ అప్ హియర్. ఆర్ ఫర్ నౌ, to make it easy, we made it as a static in the code. Or like you said, the files you can add it into the page layout itself, so that you will not have it in the web part. You'll have only the data which is HTML. పేజ్ లేఅవుట్లో యాడ్ చేసి ఇంకా నువ్వు రీడ్ అంటూ ఏం చేయవసరం లేదు. యాజ్ లాంగ్ యాజ్ ద జేఎస్ ఫైల్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ యువర్ పేజ్, యువర్ కోడ్ విల్ వర్క్. Okay, yes, I mean in your terminology, yes, we can read it. Okay, I got it 3 functions, but remember, as of now I'm not consuming anything from list. To do your web part step by step, if you do it in this way, you know where to look if there are any problems. First you need to make sure that your web part is working with the given HTML and JSS and CSS. Okay, I think I made this one as, maybe let me make this one as string builder. String builder. And it requires a namespace, system.text, and new, and carousel dot toString, and what it is doing is simply dot append, maybe line. First thing I need get.js, and next thing is get CSS, and the next thing is get slides. That's it, and we appended everything. We broke down into 3 chunks. like one is for script, one is for styles, another one is for the HTML piece, and we again club together and sending it. Why did we break it into 3 chunks? I mean, just for the sake of convenience with respect to maintenance. If you want to change JavaScript files or JavaScript stuff, you'll only change this part. If you have to change something with the CSS, you'll change only this bit, so that you have an isolation where to change when you need. Okay, let's deploy this bit. And if you remember, we have one feature name is SP slider feature 1. Let me make it as a SP slider 1 feature, and the scope is site collection. That means when you go and see the features, you should look into site collection features. Or if you want to keep it as a web level, maybe you can keep it as a web level as well. That means you need to look into site features, not the site collection features. It's all good. Now compiling it, rebuild solution. It's all good, and now I deploy it. Okay, and it failed. It says cannot be deployed through feature with the web scope because it's a form feature, or I'm not sure right now. We will tackle that question later and rebuild it and redeploy. And here, if you see, it's going on, deploy started. And it is doing something, that's why we are getting text. Skipping deployment step because pre-deployment command is not specified. There is nothing to do before deployment. As you know, it's a part of Visual Studio feature. You can provide a script or something to do before you deploy it. We don't have anything to do, and it's skipping application poll recycle because this is the first time we are deploying this package. And retraction means removing if there is a package with the exact GUID or same package available, and adding solution. Even last time I was telling we can do with the PowerShell. I will show that later. Just remember, in production we always do it through PowerShell, not Visual Studio. Okay, and it is deployed. And if you remember, I changed this to site collection, and go to properties, sorry, not this properties, go to site settings of this. It's more convenient to use Internet Explorer if you are using site settings or central admin of SharePoint. But if you are debugging some user level component like a UI component, then use Chrome. I mean, that's my preference, but it's up to you, whatever you feel is convenient. Okay, and we are here, and I was telling site collection features, and look for slider 1 feature. That's what we named it. And it is already active because as we deployed, and we set the option to make it active as soon as it deploys, but we can keep it not to make active, which is here. Active on default will enable the feature, make it active. If you keep that false, it won't keep that active, means it won't activate. Now it's active, and that means we are happy to use it. Let's see if it works well or not. And I create another add page. Slider 2. If you remember, we are not getting the data even from the list yet, but as we are progressing in steps, I want to make sure that everything works perfectly. If this code, whatever code we are using works, then we can change our last method, get slides method, to integrate with the lists. That's the point. And add web part. And we haven't specified a group, so if you didn't specify any group, it will be default custom. And this is SP slider and web part slider 1, add it. Okay, so this is coming from the web part, and which is exactly the same as sample web part. And even to make it, to be sure that it's working and there are no errors with the links or CSS, be sure to check it in Chrome. That's my preference always, in the console. And like I said, refresh it, and all seems working fantastic as we expected. Now last step is to integrate it with the list. So where do we change our code? Which function do we need to change, guys? Any idea? We have 3 functions. One is get.js, get.css, get.slides. Which one do you need to change now? Yeah, that's right. So we need to change get.slides, and that too, in the get.slides we don't have to change every piece. We need to change, let me show you here that we need to change only this bit for now. What are slides? Only those things we need to make it dynamic and bring it from the list. So only these bits, the rest remains same. Okay, and bootstrap slider, where is this? Okay, anyway, it is display none, means it's not showing, I guess. Yeah, so that's not even required, but this is where, you need to understand why we have and what we need to do. If we delete this, what is it? Is it going to affect or not? Those kind of things we need to be sure of. So need to do step by step, I would say. So up to here, cutting it. Okay, this is slides. But if you are comfortable with HTML, if you want to cut this, means cut this off here and first get this there and keep this one as maybe not flower braces, safe, keep it as slides here, means it's a placeholder where we replace it here. Okay, and this is what we want. Then even you can do like this as well, and let me whatever cut here, I place it here and copy this, Any idea why I placed a placeholder here, slides here? Right, yes. I'm going to get that content dynamically and place it there. So that's where get slides HTML here, and this slides dot replace this exact stuff, comma get slides HTML, and slides. Guys, hope so far it is cool for you. And now we need to query that and get it. And to load that list, not sure if we have another app. Let me open the old code which we have. Console app 2. Not sure if this is what we did last time. No, not this one. It is actually doing this is not this one. Studio run as administrator. Hello world web part. This one. No, I'm just trying to save time using the existing code. But anyway, let's do it. It's not a big deal. Not using web is equal to this dot sp context, not this dot sp. Yeah, what class I can use. Guys, do you guys remember what did we use last time? sp context. But where is this code? This is in here, and this dot 1 minute. Just googling in other machine SharePoint context, because I always don't remember these classes where I load from. SharePoint context in WebParts, but this is called as a SharePoint context. That's what it is. You just need to know the concept, then that's very easy to getting the piece of code. It's a sp context, but when I do it, I don't know why it didn't come. Let's try it again. sp context. Oh, I did, but I didn't notice it. sp context dot current dot root web run.web, having web. So we have the web, and after that we need to get the list. Where, what is the list name? Hero banner, or just say slides, and web dot list dot try get list. This is a bit of safe method, and it requires a title, and if it doesn't exist, then it will not throw you a exception. It will give you a null, so that you can check. If it is equal to null, then you don't do it. I mean, you don't read the list. Okay, and not equal to null. And what is our list name? List title, that's what important for us. Hero, page, banner, whatever we called, we can keep it even simpler. List name, description, navigation, you can change it to home banner. Home banner, and this will be the title, and that's what we are going to use here. And if that's not null, but that's totally fine, and but where are we specifying the display order, and where are we specifying is active, all those things. If you remember last time I said for querying purpose we need to use camel, and even I said that I won't keep in my mind how to write camel. I will just use a different tools. Slides, I will show you what tool I use. I think I already said last time. Slides dot, okay, let me keep this because of this, it's not giving me IntelliSense, proper IntelliSense. Where list items equal to slides dot get items. What? A list, try get list, and sp list. What is it saying actually? SharePoint sp list, list, try get list, slides. Oh, sorry guys, I have the same name, that's why it is causing me list. List dot get items. If I just pass nothing, it's totally fine, it's happy, it will give me items, but this is not what I want. But anyway, for the first cut, let's do it but like this. Later we'll worry about camel query. And here, this is where you need to understand how you are going to integrate your HTML and your SharePoint. Let's assume all our for now, let's assume all our slides will be in this format. Means whatever it says, let's assume we will have it this way. One text, private, string, slide, HTML. I'll keep it as underscore. HTML template. Oh dear, looks like I didn't copy the whole stuff. Okay, this is string, and I just want to replace only the caption and image for this instance. So we'll keep this one as remember guys, I will tell you the other problems later. Display, and this is 0, and where is our caption? Caption, but where is the caption? Did I copy a wrong one? No, I didn't. Okay, mobile ready. Where is the mobile ready? Okay, this is the caption. The reason I'm placing zeros and 1 is I want to use string.format. Guys, are you getting lost, or is it totally fine up to here? Hello, Ramesh. ఇంతవరకు ఓకేనా? Okay, good. String builder, I'm keeping this one also string builder. So it's cool, and slides dot append line string dot format slide format should be underscore. Why is it going like that? Underscore slide template comma. Guys, if you remember what column we used for title, for caption we used title column. And the title is list title. And it is giving me some problems. Okay, let's not worry too much about that. I'll come there. And another thing is item. Again, the problem is IntelliSense doesn't work. SP list item. Now this is good, but to keep it safe, instead of toString, let's keep it convert.toString, so that it won't error out if there is string, if there is a null there. And here, any idea what should be the one for caption and what should be the one for image? For image, we gave image field as a name. One is the title, which is the caption. When I click the caption, this is what we are interested in for caption. And whereas for image, and this is what we are interested in, image. Okay, slides to append and slides to toString, and should be good, assuming all goes well. And let's redeploy. And when we do the redeploy, if you see the below what happened before and now, it's going to be a bit different in first few steps. The rest are same. I'm sure I explained you before as well, but I'm just stressing the same because this is what we entirely go in our development life cycle of SharePoint. So there is no pre-deployment, still the same as before. It is recycling app pool because there is an existing package, that's why it is doing recycling. Before it didn't do. And it is retracting because there is already a solution. Retracting means removing. After removing, it is deactivating. Okay, sorry, first it is as a part of retract, it is deactivating, then removing, which is retracting solution and deleting, and then add solution, and it says there is already on conflict, and resolving and adding solution, deploying solution, activating feature. It's all good. Now let us see. I mean, we can refresh the same page. In fact, we didn't do anything, but only difference we find is, any idea guys, what difference are we going to find with the latest web part? If everything works well, only difference we find is we'll have only 4 slides here because we got only 4 items in the list. The rest should be fine. As I said, everything works well. That's the theory always, which we say everything works well. This is what I'm refreshing. Whenever you do a deployment, remember in a team environment where it recycles the app pool, that means your whatever app pool your web application using, and it's going to be down for a minute or a couple of seconds, so it is always good to notify your teammates or they're going to scream. But if it is you're developing in your own environment, that's totally good. See, something screwed up and nothing is showing up. Any idea guys what screwed up? Any guess? Let's see. Neither I don't have any guess why it's screwed up. Okay, up to here maybe we should have HTML comments. HTML comments are really beautiful in terms of debugging these things. If we see slides, after slides our content should be there. Our content is missing here. Okay, it's supposed to be here. Maybe we screwed up something. See, for me, I'm sure I can definitely tell where is the issue, but that's not the point here. I want to debug and show you where it is issues. Okay. And I want to debug wherever I want to. So if I see here, I'm assuming after slides we should have lots of data, like that's why I say you should have some running model with the dummy content. That's how you figured out, okay, after slides I should see some HTML. Here I'm not seeing. That means that's where the data issue is. If you see after slides, I have a lot of div tags, and in the end I have this bootstrap slider something display none. But in our web part, if you see, that slides are missing. I don't know why. Let's talk about that. And in development environment, you are free to do debugging, you are free to have breakpoints. That's how you do. Without breakpoint, it's like an end of the world for any developer to do continue development. That's the same for me as well. Even now I put breakpoints everywhere possible, and even keep logging. That's another thing which I will explain later. And here, this is where I get slides HTML. Maybe this function is giving error, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe when we return string that is not throwing, maybe, I don't know. Start, as simple as that. This is one way. It is exactly doing the same thing. Okay, it is saying modify debug and having something, I don't know. I say okay, I mean it is exactly the same web config file which says if required change. Unable to start debugging on the web server, and this always happens for me. So is there any other way to debug attaching process, guys? Say SharePoint or ASP.NET applications, not all SharePoint applications but all the web applications or front-end apps use W3 worker process, so we need to attach that process. Okay, first we didn't do any changes, it is still the same, and let me go debug, attach to process, and just sort this. The reason I am sorting is there might be an instance that there will be couple of 3 or 4 W3 process. I don't know which one is our application going to work on, so it's always safe to attach all. I'm attaching, I see only one because I already sorted by process and I see only one, attaching it. Now I attached it, and but still I see no symbols have been loaded. But let's refresh our page and see if it's going to hit our breakpoints. Let's come here. When I'm refreshing, these things are got into a proper breakpoints, and awesome. Now I have here. See, now the point is, like I said, maybe I'm not getting here. Let's debug F11. Debugging is same symbols whatever you use, guys. Maybe the list is not there, maybe, I don't know. List is there, maybe items are not there, but say item seems to be there. That's also good. Let's see this. Is it actually forming well? Not. We can have a HTML and text, but anyway, let's keep it simple. And if you see, this path is good enough, and we have a mobile ready touch swipe. This is good, right? And I'm assuming I won't check for every item, assuming that it will come here. If it come here, then I'll again check there. And again come here. So I'm expecting 4 div items here, like 1, 2, but let's keep it as HTML. Remember, if you change this formatting thingy, I mean sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and it stays there. That's a pain. I mean pain in the sense, if you don't know that you changed it before, you'll never see values here. XML visualizer, no, it doesn't help me. Looks like for now text. And let's see images. I am expecting 4 images. 1 because 4 items. 2, 3. I didn't get 1 here. I don't know the reason. But even if I don't get 1 here, that shouldn't be a major concern for me because I should see an item there. Okay, that means there is no errors other than the data errors. And I'm coming there, and when I replace, whatever content should come up here above there. That's what my expectation is. But still I don't see my slides here because I'm saying before bootstrap slider. That's why it's always good to have HTML comments, which will be useful for debugging. We can add those later after this. So I'm not getting here, guys. Any idea on the top? I'm not getting any idea where I'm going wrong in my code. It's nothing to do with HTML, I mean SharePoint. It's something to do with the programming. Any guess? This is a stat which I'm expecting to replace this one with this, and this is actually working fine. Gets what is this? Get slide HTML is working fine because I'm getting the content from here as I debugged up to here, and this is totally fine. Any guesses? No worries. I mean, because it's just my mindset, that's why I can figure it out, because this is done by me. This is actually missing here. That's the only reason. And like I said, it's always good to have comments. Keep comments as slides here. Slides start, whatever you think meaningful, but usually these kind of comments should be given by your front-end developer. If he has done his job well, then he should have properly commented for everything. What is a top slides, what are the slides, so that's how you know. So next time I expect that this to appear here, and let me deploy it. I deployed everything. I'm not going all the steps, but it says won't succeed. Deploying solution activate. All good. And now I assume that I fixed my error, but it's just an assumption. I could be wrong. And it is taking slow. The reason is when the app pull restarts, it will take a while. See, now we have 4 items. And by the way, why the last item doesn't have an image? So 2 places, maybe my coding error or data error. You should always okay, then yeah, that's the problem. So let's go to our home banner. And this is my 4th item, and let's this is where SharePoint development takes considerable amount of development time, because it is slow in every process. Even when I'm going to the list, it could be because of system resources or could be busy something else. There is a time involved more. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. Ramesh is right. There is no image for the 4th item. So let's go here. So we have images, awesome, and let's refresh this. See, this is, now it's easy. It is, I have, let me open this, 4 items, and it is giving me 4 items fantastically like that. You can edit like this, but At times it works, at times it doesn't, based on the complexity of the columns. I'm copying all, allow, and clicking here and paste. Edit. Okay, this now you need to fix some problems. Go fix them. What is that? I don't want to do anything with that. Okay, let me copy here. Okay, test here. Something, whatever now. Okay, let's keep. Can we keep any image? Maybe try it. Actually, we can keep any image as long as these guys allow us to take the image. Okay, internet, copy link address. Okay, even they name it as slider one something. Okay, but remember it depends on the allowers or not. Awesome. So now even everybody is coming. Okay, let's go here. Now the slider sample, now the slider. See now, any idea how many slides are we going to get now if I refresh? 5, sure. Let's go to our list. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Again there is 1, there is 2, 3, 4, and there is 9. Because I copy pasted 4 items again, so another 4 came in, and this is the last item which I got it some test. So totally it should be 9. Oh dear, what I did, I didn't mean to copy this, I meant to, okay, control shift R. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Possible, isn't? How should we get? What? Oh, this is slider sample. That's a different page. Slider. Where is our page? Let me close everything. Oh, okay. This is our page. Slider. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if we go to the last one, this is our page. Okay, now it is good, but we didn't have a proper sorting order which is implemented, and we didn't really worry about is active or not. We're just getting whatever we have. So guys, are you still okay to continue like 10 more minutes so that I will show you the order, or you guys have to go anywhere? Tarvata cheddama. Yeah, then I will stop here, because we will go to the query part where we can have like sorting and like filtering out is active, bringing is active. Into the length. Image size, Ramesh, it is controlled in the CSS. That's why it is, see, the last image, in fact, it is very big, but it is actually shrinking to fit into the size whatever we have. Exactly, according to CSS. CSS is controlling. CSS is, nowadays, CSS is quite powerful. Even JavaScript is very, very powerful. Yeah, but I don't really have, to be honest, I don't have full knowledge on JavaScript and CSS. JavaScript, I'm okay with certain level. CSS is nowadays, it's, now there is another type, not TypeScript. I'll tell you, nowadays even they're using different things. CSS, advanced CSS. They're not even using CSS. I mean, the concepts are still same, W3 schools. Bootstrap is a framework which they are using it to, mobile responsive. And coming to the CSS, let me add a file from here, because all my front-end developers, they don't directly come to the CSS. They create another file which is different. General markup, SAS files. This is what they create, because it produces CSS files, but you have a reusability and kind of a bit of object orientedness, and they create these SAS files. I mean, if you ever got time, look on that SAS thing. It is quite powerful, and that's what it's being used by the proper front-end developers. Okay, for now then I will stop it here. CSS pseudocode, you can reusable, and you can, it is something like you can have placeholders. If you want to reuse your color across different classes, you can specify one place and reuse it in some place. That's what, but look in internet, there is a lot of content on that. SAS basics. Any doubts, guys, before we stop? This is how the CSS SAS looks like, but it produces CSS. No, not like Bootstrap is a framework which is a predefined CSS classes which you can use them, but SAS is, it will help you to create your CSS files in a easy manner and reusable manner. I mean, this, you see, if you see here, this is how your syntax is. You can, this is one file reset, and he is importing, this is being called here, and body, and you have a color here. This color, they'll keep it in some variables. Mixins, it's like reusable, reusability and extending this inheritance. These are the concepts. That's a list of functions in, not functions, like list of reusable CSS is Bootstrap, and this lets you to provide, produce a CSS in a easy manner with respect to development. Okay, but spend some time. You'll have a lot of, see, these are pre-processing, variables, nesting, partials, import, mixins, inheritance. These are the concepts, topics, whatever they call. Okay, so any more doubts, guys? యా నేను వీడియో పంపిస్తాను. I'm deleting. Then I'm stopping here. But if you guys have any time in the weekends, we can complete this. It's just like 10 or 15 minutes so that we can start something new. But let me know if you have any time. You can do it in the weekends, or we'll do it next week. Okay. రాకేష్, నీ మెషిన్ ఏదో అన్నావు. ఈ మీటింగ్ అయినాక ఈ టీమ్ వ్యూవర్లోకి వస్తాను. పని చేస్తుందా? ఒకసారి చూద్దాం ఇది అయిపోయినాక. ఓకే ఓకే guys, then bye then.